So one of the issues in Legacy of the Void is that when you finish a ranked game and then close the window, it will default you back to unranked after the game. So here you can see that happening. Another issue with Legacy of the Void is that when you start it up, it automatically defaults to unranked games. Another problem with Legacy of the Void is that when you're in the score screen, or lobby, you cannot open the menu using F10 like you can normally. Here you can see me doing that if you look in the top right, in Heart of the Swarm. This is not possible in Legacy of the Void, as I will show you now. Another bug in the UI of Legacy of the Void is that you can't use the F keys to open up the arcade, matchmaking, custom games, etc. when you're on the home screen. Here you can see me doing so in Heart of the Swarm, and you can even switch from replays to matchmaking using F2. As you can see in Legacy of the Void, this doesn't work. You can still click on them as normal, but then you can't use F7 to open replays, and you can't use F3 to get from replays to matchmaking, like you could in Heart of the Swarm. Yet another issue with the UI in Legacy of the Void is that you can't access the matchmaking history. You can't see your opponent's name, who won, or even load the score screen and the graphs, etc. In Archon mode, it's possible for you to spawn as the same colour as your opponent. This can be very confusing in mirror matchups, as you will not necessarily know what units are yours if you're trying to do a massive flank, especially in Zerg vs Zerg. As you can see in the video, an issue on one of the maps, Dash and Terminal, is that the creep will look very squared off compared to other maps. This happens on both low quality and ultra quality. As you can see, on this map, this isn't an issue, and the creep is rounded off as it should be. Another issue with the gameplay side of Legacy of the Void is that when you're transforming roaches into ravagers, or hydralisks into lurkers, if you press escape, their function works differently to if you're transforming zerglings into banelings. You need to press escape per baneling to stop them from morphing, whereas with ravagers, you only need to press escape once to cancel every single ravager you've got in your selection. This is also the case with lurkers. In Legacy of the Void, the baneling cocoons are no longer part of the all-army hotkey. This is not the case in Heart of the Swarm, as you can see in the following clip. Another well-known issue in Legacy of the Void is that if a marine is walking through the add-on area, the barracks or the factory will lift up, rather than moving the marine out of the way like it would in Heart of the Swarm. This can make it very difficult to build the correct add-ons when marines have just finished producing. A similar issue is that when you're trying to build add-ons in Legacy of the Void, you can't simply roll your fingers over the X and C keys like you could in Heart of the Swarm. This is because there is a slight delay that you have to leave in between pressing the buttons, because otherwise they will not build the correct number of add-ons. This can very easily result in getting the incorrect number of add-ons for the number of barracks that you have, or simply not getting any add-ons at all on some barracks.